Hey guys, it's Tim and Kathy with Taste Life with Us, and we're coming to you from Albany.
No, we're in Troy, New York.
Close enough.
You know, we've only been kind of fast traveling the U.S. right now for 2 days, and we're already lost. We don't know where we are.
How in the heck do you guys do this, the country count all the time? I can't keep count of where I'm at today, let alone yesterday.
Yeah, so a couple days ago, somebody said, how many countries have you been to? Which is a common question you get when you travel full time.
I have no idea.
It got us really thinking and talking this morning, and we want to share it with you. So before we get going, we're going to tell you about 3 organizations that do it and how funny their different definitions are.
We actually researched something to figure out what the heck we were talking about because we had no idea.
And it got even funnier than it was. And at the very end, we're going to talk about a country that you have probably been to. Sorry, we're in a hotel conference room. We're going to talk about a country that you have probably been to. You might even live in.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you have probably, possibly, not really been there. Stay tuned.
So, when you're counting countries and you're really thinking about where you've been and where you've gone and what you've done and what you've seen, have you really seen anything?
And that's the thing. What the hell is going on back there? So loud. Sorry. Let's start that over.
When you really think about the countries that you've been and the places that you've been and the things that you've seen. We'll work with it. When you talk about what you've seen, where you've been, what you thought, and where you touched ground, there's just different rules to make it happen.
Yeah, so we consulted the experts, and we found out that no one knows, really, what counts.
That's not true. They know what they count, and they charge you to tell you what they count.
Okay, so there's basically 3 big organizations that do this, that we know of. The Travelers Century Club, which is people who have been to 100 countries or more.
The MTPs are the most traveled people.
Yes, because somebody at the Travelers Century Club didn't like all the definitions and they left and started their own thing.
I really think they just wanted to make more money and they found a way to do it.
They were tired of paying $75 dues every month and decided, hey, I should collect the dues instead.
Absolutely.
We don't know. Not trying to malign these people. We have
Not
no
at all.
idea.
No clue.
Okay. And at the Travelers Century Club, there's a $100 initiation fee also because they have to verify where you've
Oh, that's true.
been, right?
But how do they verify where you've been?
There's different proofs for all these. First of all, the third one is called Nomad Mania, okay? So there's different proofs they accept.
Okay.
You know, it could be passport stamps, it could be a picture, it could be a receipt for a meal you ate in that country, but they vary from organization to organization.
Yeah, because they all have their standards of what counts as being in a country.
And some places are remote. They're hard for them to verify. So I don't even know how you prove some of these places.
Well,
But not only that, they all have different numbers of places that they count. Like Travelers Century Club has about 330 territories. So some are like UN countries, some are, you know, other official countries, but some are just geographical places. Most traveled persons has 1,500. Okay, this is interesting. Nomad Mania has a lot too, but this is what's funny. How do you define these things? So
I have no idea. Like, okay, perfect example is if I'm on a train and I'm sleeping on it and I'm going through Europe and it's a night train and I've traveled through 4 countries, by the time I get to my final destination, does that count as 4 countries?
well, I think they'll agree that if you're asleep, no, but if you're awake, maybe. Some of them, or at least one of them, does count traveling through in a car, a train, or a bus if you're awake. Now, I don't know how you prove this, but it counts, okay? Others have really funny criteria. Like if you're in a car
Okay.
and you take a picture of a site as you're going by, it counts. But if you're just in a car and nothing interesting is outside, it doesn't really count. But if you're in a public conveyance, then it maybe doesn't count unless you actually get out and take the picture and get back on. Now, don't think that going to the bathroom is enough.
But yet I'm leaving a personal deposit in the country. I think that should count.
You'd think that would be more significant than driving by and taking a picture. I don't know. I think that the funniest one is when you're trying to count these remote areas.
Oh?
Because there's islands that you're not allowed to land on, right? So how do you go and prove you were there?
Well, I guess you could swim up and touch it without landing on it?
That is literally the criteria for one of these. It says, in the case of islands where landing is prohibited by law due to wildlife concerns or other natural heritage status, it is acceptable to touch a portion of the island above the waterline while swimming or from a boat in lieu of landing.
So, if you're in Antarctica and you can't land there because you're not on a research boat, just get a special wetsuit and touch, or even better.
I think so.
I got it. So, watch carefully for an iceberg or glacier that calves. And if that floats up to the ship and you touch that,
maybe it counts.
Or does that mean that you have discovered a new island?
But you better have a before and after picture.
And you can plant your own little flag on it. Hey, I dub thee Hudson Island.
So it's a fun game. And I know that some of you take it very seriously. And we are not making fun of you for country counting. I think it's great if you can even keep track of where you're going, because we can't.
No.
We're too stupid to country count. We're too lazy, maybe. It's
we're not
work.
Stupid.
It's too much work.
We're uninvolved.
So if you're with most traveled persons, they can create, quote, any kind of traveler collectible system. Currently, they track visits to, of course, locations, countries, but also the world's top beaches. I could be into that, collecting beaches. But
How about collecting
I don't
sand
like
of
the
the
world's
beaches?
top beaches. That's illegal in some places. Tim will be hunted down by Interpol. They're like, we see you have a sand collection.
You know better, I show up at the airport and my suitcase is just full of sand.
And I don't care if they're top beaches. I like beaches that not everybody's at. Those are probably not the top ones.
How about deserted beaches?
Yeah, collect deserted beaches.
But then
wonder if they do that.
How do they know if you've been there? Because there's no one else there that saw you there.
It's true. And if you take a picture, they all look pretty similar.
I was going to say, we could collect sunsets, but they look the same around the world.
They also do hotels, restaurants, golf courses, and scuba dive sites. Now that one's got to be a little difficult to prove.
I was under the water outside of Paris. That's where I was, yes.
But I saw the border, and this particular scuba site is separate from the one right next to it. I saw the line down there.
So here's another thought to think about, though. What about those countries that have multiple locations?
Right. So this is a big argument online about Papeete, Tahiti. We've been there. And is it part of France? Well, yes, it is France. French Polynesia is
French.
owned by France, right? So have you been to France? I'm going to say, hell no. We've been to France.
We've been to France, and it's not French.
And we've been to Tahiti. And yeah, they're not, well, I mean,
They are
you
French.
can get great wine in both.
Okay.
Let's be real. And you can get like crepes and, you know, with some great gelato there, but wouldn't that make it
Croissants?
Italian?
Well, you can get croissants anywhere.
The point being, they're not that similar. Why are they the same? Oh, they count Alaska different than the U.S. Alaska's part of the U.S., but it is pretty different.
Well, is Hawaii part of the U.S.?
I would have to deep dive into the research to answer your question or consult ChatGPT.
That's probably the easiest
I'm going to
way
say
do it.
Hawaii is pretty different than most areas of the U.S.
True.
also. So this whole thing gets fairly sticky. And this is why we don't count countries. Because here's part of it. We cruise a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Does a cruise port count?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of rules about that.
But here's the thing. if you get off at a cruise port and you spend 8 hours in that town, you still haven't seen the country, but you've probably explored a great town.
Right, and you really saw it. The same as if somebody was fast traveling and they stopped there for one night and they saw that town and they went on to the next town.
Yeah.
But in the nomad community, cruise ports don't count for a lot of people because you slept on a boat.
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
What if I woke up there?
Gonna leave that aside. Right. You do. Either way, on land or sea.
There you go.
Yeah, hopefully. At some point, maybe we just won't wake up there, and that'll be the end of our travels.
Ew, dark.
So, the other thing is, some people decide, okay, well, did you eat there? If you ate there, and now does it matter if you had local food or McDonald's or?
I don't think McDonald's counts because it's kind of like an embassy when you walk into a McDonald's. That is territory owned by the United States. It is not a separate country. Pretty much the menu's the same. Yeah, no, that doesn't count. No.
Yeah, so what does count? What doesn't? Okay, another place people really debate over what counts is if you just go to the border of a territory and you take a picture at the sign, right? Does that count?
Good
you
question.
know, did you see the country or not? I don't know. So the other thing that people say is, what about airports? So most people acknowledge that if you flew over a country, it probably doesn't count. But what if you flew low and you could see it? Would that count?
No, because you did not set foot inside the country. Now, defining what sets foot inside the country is the debate. Because
and these organizations disagree. Some say if you deplaned, now you're standing in the country, even if it's on the tarmac or in the airport.
what if you're,
Other opinions are that if you go through immigration and you get a passport stamp, now it counts that you're there.
but most places don't stamp your passport
But
anymore.
if you just go to the airport lounge, that does not count. You have to leave the airport, go stand out on the curb, come back in, then it counts.
Okay,
Because clearly you've seen the country if you have been on the airport curb.
what if you get off of the plane, you get out of the airport, but you never get down to the ground level, you stay on the second level of the airport.
That doesn't count. You're not on the ground, dude.
But what if you went outside of the airport, but you're still on the second
It
level?
doesn't matter. That's like flying over. Okay, so you can see that
Why
these
we
are
don't do this.
these are very complicated. We don't know what to count. We fly through places. Probably shouldn't count it.
And here's the other thing. Why should we count it, in all honesty? Because even when we go to a cruise port and we're there for the day, we experience the town. We don't experience the country. If we go to Italy and we just hang out in the tip of the boot, or we're hanging out in the soccer ball of Sicily, right?
Have we really seen Italy? Because we've never seen northern Italy. We haven't been up to the lakes and
No.
the mountains. And that's the thing with, like, Vietnam. We were talking this morning about Vietnam. We spent 2 months in Vietnam, but we were seeing that kind of central Vietnam coast area. So those of you who went to the mountains of Vietnam or the extreme north, the extreme south, you were in a cruise port for Ho Chi Minh, which, you know, is
Not Ho Chi Minh, by the
at
way.
least an hour away from the city of Ho Chi Minh. You're just in a port town. You know, do those things count? Have you seen Vietnam? And I'm going to tell you, we stayed for a month on An Bang Beach.
Yep.
Now, An Bang Beach is a long beach, and it has different, like,
Areas.
stretches
Yeah.
and towns. If you've ever been to, say, Southern California, it's like the difference of being in Huntington Beach versus Huntington Harbor, or, you know, they're different towns, they're different areas of the same town, but they're very different, right? Okay. Or Sunset Beach, like in the middle there, you know, I mean, there's
just
different
different-
beaches of the same beach, right?
Different sections.
Okay, so one area of An Bang right next to us, you can go watch on our videos from that period of time. Super different from the little street that we stayed on. And in fact, our end of the street was super different than if we walked 5 minutes down the street to the other end.
Which was the party hostel end of the street.
Yeah.
Dude, they were having a great time.
We were on the little local experience end.
Yeah.
So literally someone else could go with the exact same time of year, same weather, same events, and stay 5-minute walk away and have an entirely different perception and experience than we had. And so I guess, it's very hard to quantify these things.
Right, it really is.
So let's bring it back to the country I mentioned that you might live in.
So I know where we left the United States from. And if I told you it was California, the first thing that pops into your mind is either Los Angeles or San Francisco. The big cities, the beaches, beautiful.
Disneyland.
Maybe, yeah, just maybe
wine
you
country.
think about the national parks, Yosemite or the Sequoias. We didn't come from any of that.
What's funny is when you travel the world, sometimes people say, "Where are you from?" And you say, "We were from California." And
Do
they
you know
say,
any movie stars?
Exactly. Like it's a small town and the movie stars live down the street from us. Okay, our foreign exchange student came from Hungary.
Oh, that poor kid. I felt so bad for him.
He was so disappointed because he was coming to California. He was thinking beaches.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
So where he came to was basically 3 hours from nowhere in what we call the Central Valley,
Or the armpit of California.
surrounded by dairies, orchards, and farmland. And to some people, that is beautiful.
And it is, at certain times of the year, it is beautiful.
But for a kid coming from Hungary, that was not California.
No, he had major culture shock, and I am here for a whole year. Like here.
All I get to smell is cow poop for a year.
So this is literally how we would tell people where we're from. You know when you're driving from LA to San Francisco and you go through that long, empty area that stinks? That's it. We're just a little off the highway there. But this is where most of the world's food is grown, in the Valley of California. So this is a geographically and culturally significant place. Literally every single year, farm owners from all over the world come to the farm show that was right by where we lived, and in fact brought COVID.
Let's not go there. That's a whole other story.
Tim was one of the first people in the U.S. to have COVID.
Anyway.
But anyways.
Going past that, the thing is that I know a lot of people who basically never left that area. And if you ask them, have you been to the United States? Absolutely. But you haven't. You've been to a little portion, a little small area of the United States. They had never been to New Hampshire. They had never been to Florida. They had never been
New York City.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. And I'll flip that. Like if you say you've been to California, but you've only been to, LA area or San Francisco area, and you skipped us, I'm just going to say you missed, number one, you missed the best Mexican food.
That's
have
really incredible Mexican
It's
food.
farm worker land. We have so many authentic local Mexican restaurants that you can't believe. Fantastic food, and you missed it. You have to go to Mexico to get food like that. So our point being, go ahead.
Sorry for that brief interruption. Our phone storage is full. We had to switch phones.
So we recently were telling somebody about how we're going to hopefully go to Shanghai next year at this time in China. And we're reminded that we won't have really been to China because Shanghai is just one city and China has so much more to offer. China's a huge country. Has anyone really been to China? Have the Chinese even really been to China?
Well, I mean, as an American, I've been to the U.S. and I've been to so many states. But honestly, I haven't been to all of them.
And even in those states, we haven't been to all the different micro areas of those states, which differ, just like in California. So it's hard to even say you've really been to that state. And I'm going to guarantee that almost every single American watching this has never really been to America. You haven't seen it all.
And that might be a goal.
Yeah, and that's a great goal. But even if you've been to every national park, You haven't been to every place outside of the national park.
Have you been to every state park?
So what I'm saying is, don't worry about this stuff. Who cares? Who cares what you're counting? I mean, you do it. It's a fun thing. It's a scavenger hunt.
Yes,
it's meaningful
absolutely.
to you. Don't get bogged down in all these ridiculous definitions.
Don't
and
don't become the gatekeepers of the count.
exactly.
There's no need, it's
don't-
not a competition. We're
Well,
okay
some
with
people
that.
are very competitive about it, and that's what I'm saying. Don't tell other people they haven't been someplace because it doesn't fit the rules of your organization.
This is not a bingo game, okay? You don't hit every country and go, bingo, I won.
And quite frankly, I don't care if you literally are the most traveled person in the U.S., which, by the way, the Guinness Book of World Records gave up on the category because it was too difficult to define and prove. Even if you're that person, you have not seen the entire world. You've seen bites of it.
But you know what? That's what the experience is all about.
Yeah.
Getting out there, tasting life by experiencing as much as you can.
Yeah, that's why we call ourselves Taste Life with Us, because we know for a fact we are not experiencing everything, and we never will. But we're taking nice big bites of it.
Or little
and we're
nibbles.
loving, yeah, sometimes they're little nibbles, but we're loving every second of it, and we're tasting it, and we hope that you're tasting it too.
Thank you so much for joining us on this little diatribe of thought.
Yes, we're sorry, it's a little irreverent. We're not trying to offend anyone. We're
Sorry.
just being,
Sorry.
our naturally offensive people.
I was going to say, sorry we look like we just rolled out of bed and had breakfast and decided to talk with you, because that's where this all stemmed from.
Yes.
But the honest truth is that we're happy that you joined us. And now get out there and taste life for yourself.
And subscribe.
Don't
You want to
forget.
see more content, please subscribe.
Please subscribe to both of our channels, and in the descriptions below, you will find links to our social media. And you know what? Leave us a comment. Tell us what you like, and let us know what you'd like to see in the future.